he was famous for teaching Roddy McDowell how to do an audition in which he really never sang. But the genius of this technique was that people thought he had sung. And he really hadn't sang at all. He was recitative, he would do that. But they felt they had been given a song, because I guess he had given them a story. And it had such reality to it and such conviction behind it that you felt you'd seen someone sing in a heightened way that was beyond dialogue. And that's what David taught people to do. So it wasn't about singing. I know he was upset if someone censored themselves or stopped themselves or apologized for not hitting a note right or for being off tempo. That was the only thing I ever saw him get irritated about, because that was contrary to what he was trying to do, which was to get you to bring some personal, intimate experience to every moment of that song. And somehow the adage of acting that I've always remembered is that if you're watching it, you're not doing it. And if you're doing it, you're not watching it. And he gave you a framework, some kind of a way to perform it that let you come through. And that was the most powerful thing you had to offer. And how he did that was, and still is, a tremendous mystery to me. He had an exercise, I think that we all called it the two.
There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And it was such a crazy idea that when you first heard it, you thought, I'm in the wrong place, this guy's crazy. But it was like doing this. You got distracted by his technique so that something of yourself could not help but come to the fore. And people would identify with it and have empathy to what you were saying. And the two, which probably someone else will explain, because I don't even know if I can remember it, but it had to do with the unconscious ability to express your feelings without falling into the trap of using the words. The words were really not important, and the melody wasn't important, and the rhythm wasn't important. So what was important? What was important was the need to tell this story. And he forced you to do it without using the words of the song. You had to eventually say the words of the song. But what was coming through your spirit and your emotion, your face, your body, had to do with something a million miles away. But it brought a presence to the material that was irresistibly involving. So you were doing something naked, if you will, without being able to watch it at the same time. But it worked. It worked because I started to get jobs. and his technique, his devices, he threw you out of the class when he felt you got it. Which was one of the bravest things I've ever known anybody to do, and I've never known another teacher to do it. But he said, I have something to teach you, and when I've taught it to you, you know it. And then I have nothing more to teach you. I have only to judge you. A teacher shouldn't judge. So when I've realized that you've gone as far as to understand what this whole thing is about, you're out of here. And some people were out of there very quickly because they got it very, very fast, and other people were there for a long time. At any rate, I'm eternally grateful to him and his genius and his kindness and his belief in me and his conviction that what he was teaching would bring out your talent without your getting in the way. And that's all I have to say about it.